Welcome, John Guthrie here for Blue River Analytics with an introduction to our latest tool for Spotfire, the Analytics for Energy DXP Documenter. The A4E DXP Documenter is a Spotfire extension developed with the Spotfire Developer SDK, which produces comprehensive browser-based documentation delivering details of pages, visualizations, data functions, tables, document properties, and scripts. The DXP extension is installed on the Spotfire server using an SPK or manually on a Spotfire Analyst client. Using our A4E forecasting and valuations template as an example, the Analytics for Energy DXP Documenter is activated from the Tools menu and begins the generation of the HTML sections and capturing all visualizations as images from the DXP. Starting the Documenter tool to generate the documentation, it begins to generate the structure for the pages, visualizations, data functions, tables, document properties, and scripts. Meanwhile, in the background, it's gathering the images of all the pages and all the visualizations in the DXP. While the Documenter is running, the actual DXP is still active and you can still use it. Finally, when the notification appears that the DXP documentation has completed generation, then you can see and browse all of the documentation for the DXP. So looking at the pages or profiles, in this case, the individual visualizations themselves, and the setups of those in terms of this is a mapping visualization, so it says map chart and so on, the directionals and the layers within it, or well spacing headers and so on. So with details of even the control areas, including the HTML that's in there, and giving you the ability to copy the code if you want to. In terms of data functions, then it'll show for the heat map, for example, it'll show the script code that's generating the heat map. This is from the Spotfire community. And the input parameters, the inputs that go into it in terms of the document properties and the table parameters, the output parameters, and the outputs that are made in terms of the data tables for this particular data function. Looking at the Python distance matrix, then we have the input parameters, the inputs that we plugged into those parameters, and the output parameters, which is a distance matrix table, and the code for that. On the table side, then taking a look at perhaps the well header data, then we can expand the number of entries that we're looking at here. There is a source view that tells you where it originated from, the transformations, changing of data types, added columns, and adding in another table. And if we take a look at the things, we can see that the calculated columns here in terms of the columns that we've generated here for the mapping of columns into the visualizations and so on. On the document properties side, then looking at the document properties, just scrolling in here, and on the document properties, I've picked only one document property here, but we could scroll and look at any of them, and the settings for those, and the number that we might look at. And for the scripts then, which you can see at the bottom here, then we could look at a script for marking rows, when it's run, the language, the confirmation dialogues, and the script itself, which again, there's a copy code for copying the code out if you wish to use it somewhere else. That's about it. This documentation is the setting within the installation on my machine here. It's set to write the documentation out into the users folder for my name. So you could set this to output anywhere. Here's the analytics for energy folder, and it says DXP documentation. And here is the one that I just generated, and a couple of others that are there. If you wish to contact us, the details are on this slide. Thank you.